All right, hey you guys. This message is coming at you from the future. This is us after we finished recording this review of Dumbo. We recorded this review of Dumbo after having also recorded a review of Hotel Mumbai, and
Ingested some alcohol along the way.
We had some alcohol on the way, and we didn't like Dumbo that much, and we spent a lot of this episode talking about the absurdity of Dumbo, and it may or may not have gone off the rails a little bit. I haven't got to the edit process yet, so I can't know for sure. But we want to just, at the beginning, let you know that this episode coming up maybe is not the best representation of what a standard episode of the podcast is.
And I stand by it 100%, but don't bring your kids.
But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy this episode. We definitely had fun. You will hear... There's a section of this episode where I laugh for probably like 5 minutes straight, uncontrollably, over in the corner while Steven just waits for me to come back to record. You won't hear that whole thing, but you'll definitely hear enough of it to get it. But yeah, so please enjoy this episode. Sorry ahead of time, or you're welcome. Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spoiler Warning Podcast. This is review number 553 with a review of Dumbo. I'm Christopher Schnese.
And I'm Stephen Miller.
And if you're joining us for the first time, the Spoiler Warning Podcast is a weekly film review program. Each week in the show, we're going to dive in, debate, discuss, and argue over the latest film releases coming to a theater near you. This week, we are talking about the film Dumbo, which just came out, and also in the feeds after this one, you will have a review of Hotel Mumbai. Here we are. My question for you, I mean, this is technically going to cut into the review a little bit, but I'm going to ask you like a pre-question.
Sure.
Which would have maybe come up later, but I just want to get it out now. What do you remember about like the dancing elephant scene from the original Dumbo? And do you think weird magical dancing bubbles make sense I mean, I know this is a film about a flying elephant, but do you think that scene, as cool as it was, pushes credulity in the context of the universe that is set up for us?
I guess my answer is I wasn't in a credulous mood watching the Tim Burton Dumbo. I don't remember very much about it in the original Dumbo. In fact, I'll go a step further and say I don't remember very much about anything in the original Dumbo, which I learned soon after this Dumbo began. And I realized after the elephant flies, I know, like, okay, there's going to be, like, some racially insensitive crows somewhere. And otherwise, I have no idea what's going to happen in this movie.
Here's the thing, too. Watching this film during that elephant scene, I was not convinced that I was thinking about Winnie the Pooh. Because there's also like heffalumps or something in Winnie the Pooh, right?
Yeah.
I don't know which one has the pink elephants.
It was interesting that instead of going that route, though, this movie just had the Black Crowes play a song. That's not a band name. Erase the joke. It never happened. It is a band name. Keep the joke.
Is it a band that plays a song in this?
No.
Okay. Leave the joke?
Sure. Keep it. I didn't ever believe it was really a band that played the song in this.
No, but I just thought it was funny because, like, in this scene in this film that's supposed to be fantastical. So Michael Keaton's character talks a lot about them bottling magic or whatever the words he's using. So there is, in theory, a sense that this world includes magic that is either real or imaginary. So when they start blowing bubbles that are the shapes of elephants, I was like, I'll allow it. It's fine. But when those bubbles become sentient...
But see, they're moving around next to it, so it all is physical.
They
didn't even use CG for that scene.
It was really cool. And then I was like, oh, what? Now they're just like, now they're just like, one elephant trunk is like sucking up little giant elephants. And then I was like, what am I supposed to believe is happening right now?
I'll take your point, but then the like grand finale at a fireworks show also makes me think that. I don't know if have you ever seen a fireworks show where you're like, how did they time? They all like changed a different way at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how anything works. Bubbles or fireworks?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember fireworks in this movie.
Not in this movie, in real life.
Oh, in
IRL.
real life. Oh, IRL.
I feel like I've seen like firework things where multiple stuff happens when they've already exploded in a way that I don't get.
Yeah. I mean, there's double explosion fireworks.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Just double explosion.
I mean, really think about it, Stephen. All objects are just made of shapes, and fireworks explode into shapes. So if you send enough fireworks up at the same time, I mean, monkeys, typewriters, Shakespeare.
Yep. I hear you. That's why I always keep one in my drawer in case of emergencies. But now, how much do you remember about the original Dumbo?
I remember that there is an elephant.
Yep.
I think he might have a hat. Does Dumbo have a hat?
He has like a thing because they harken back to it in this movie when they're selling plush toys.
Dumbo hat. Yeah, he's got a little fucking hat. It's a little yellow like boo.
Sure.
I don't want to. I'm scared to turn my laptop.
Hat.
I'm scared to turn my laptop around for fear of like dislodging the USB cables.
Sure.
But yeah, Dumbo totally has a hat.
Speaking of Apu, did you see the Aladdin trailer before this movie?
Only 1,000 times.
Yeah. Okay. How do we feel about Aladdin?
I feel they miscast Jafar. I feel they miscast the genie. I feel that when A Whole New World is playing in the trailer, it sounds like the woman is singing. It sounds like the man is being dubbed over by a Disney Channel star. You know what? I will see the movie. I'm hoping that I enjoy it. It is Guy Ritchie, right?
Yeah.
So there's a chance that I will like it. I'm hoping that like everyone loves this movie unexpectedly, and it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I am not expecting that to be the case, though.
I was surprised by the Jafar casting, but maybe in a good way, because I think in my head I was just bracing for Ben Kingsley, and the fact that it was
I'm surprised that it's not the friggin' guy who was the bad guy in How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
He's literally been the bad guy in every other movie that we've reviewed.
Yeah, something about like realizing that it seems like they probably cast like Arabic people in the role, like actual people, and not like cartoonish like caricatures of like. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I guess Jafar also lives there.
I just feel like Jafar needs a menacing cackle.
Right.
And this guy has like a soothing sort of like, I'm so...
but that's where he's like wooing him in the beginning, trying to get him to like go into the temple.
So you're saying later he will have a maniacal
I think he
cackle.
might. I think the real Jafar at that moment is still like kind of like the soothsayer or whatever.
That guy in that moment in the trailer where he's presented, he sounds more like the guy at the beginning of the cartoon Aladdin who's like, welcome to Agrabah.
But
isn't
like, that supposed
Purple
to...
Bear.
Isn't that... I guess that's the genie canonically or something, right?
Is it?
I think Robin Williams did that guy at least.
I saw that movie before Reddit existed, so I don't know the deep theories on the internet.
You were born before Reddit existed?
I believe so.
Yeah, anyway, I don't have high hopes for it, but I like the trailer at least made me be intrigued of like, this is, I guess Beauty and the Beast was very live action, but this feels like the live action-ist of their attempts at redoing an animated movie.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, I think I like Will Smith Genie so far. I think I got turned around on like hot dad bod Genie.
I'm not happy with the design. I'm fine with Will Smith as the genie. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I just, the design seems silly, but what do I know?
You know nothing.
But anyway, should we get back to our review of Dumbo?
Sure.
We're going to take a listen to the trailer for Dumbo, and then we're going to come back and give you a review.
Welcome, baby Dumbo. We're all family here, no matter how small.
You have something very rare. You have wonder. You have mystique. You have magic. Wow! Come with me. Together, we can soar on an elephant's wings.
What's happening? Where are they taking her?
Take Dumbo back inside.
But she's his mom. Do something. She needs us. Look at me. We're gonna bring your mama home.
He doesn't look like magic to me.
Your children need you to believe in them.
You can do it, Dumbo. Show him. Fly, Dumbo. Fly. Baby of mine.
All right, so that was the trailer for Dumbo. It is the story about, technically it's a story about some little kids whose father comes back from the war, one-armed, and they kind of are there joining like this circus that is sort of struggling, and the ringleader for the circus, or captain, or whatever the rank is in the circus, buys an elephant who everybody else thinks is sick. Turns out it's pregnant. Elephant pops out, a giant-eared baby elephant, and through some feathery, they find out that this elephant can fly, and it's sort of the story of how that circus troupe kind of tries to exist with this elephant, and maybe a big circus comes into town and tries to absorb them into the fold, and it's about how they kind of deal with all this stuff, plus a flying elephant, based on the much beloved many years ago cartoon of the same name. Stephen Miller, what did you think of Dumbo?
So I saw this movie after Hotel Mumbai, which I think is a good choice, because palate cleanser wise, I feel like this was mostly nice movie. It had some of that Tim Burton magic. Like, I like the set design, the old-timey America. I like the reunion of Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito from Batman Returns. That was kind of fun. I think the Dumbo character design is pretty cute. That was the hook into seeing this movie, is like seeing his little eyes make like puppy dog eyes, and then I don't know, that the movie kind of like promised to be very adorable. Yeah. And because I don't have strong memories of the original, that's kind of like my first real connection to Dumbo, is seeing this version of him in terms of like the emotional tether or whatever. I don't know. It was a cute movie, but it was a movie that definitely felt lackluster in places. I feel like, especially, this is a movie with like a great cast, right? You have Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito. You have Alan Arkin, Colin Farrell, and most of them feel like they either like they're hamming it up in the movie, but their character introductions don't make sense.
I don't think Alan Arkin knows he's in a movie. I think he actually showed up as the guy from the bank.
I think he's still in Little Miss Sunshine. But there's something about like the way all of the line deliveries happen when these characters like start talking to each other. It feels like rushed, or like it wasn't meant to actually convey like, who are we and what do we believe and how do we feel? It kind of felt like the script got lost in that sense. Oh, well, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it's sort of stagey and like overactory, but not to fill an emotion, just to be like, I'm performing right now.
Well, I feel like it's because the overactory is fun, right? Like that's like the Tim Burton thing, but it's overacting where the lines are kind of like mumbled. Like I don't know. I just found something odd about them and nowhere was this more pronounced than the kids are cute. They're cute little kids. I feel like their conversations, especially, it's kind of breathless. Like, well, Dumbo can't do that because we need a science experiment, so we're going to do a science experiment, and then Dumbo can fly. Like, there's just something where I was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't. Something felt.
The kids aren't Rain Man.
Yeah, so something just felt like off about the line delivery in this movie. That it felt a little like lackluster or something, which is weird because I think like the production design and like the character, like it's all fun and the magic is there. And like I enjoy watching Dumbo fly. I liked Let's Get Ready to Dumbo. That was a fun. I guess it's a spoiler to say that. I thought it was interesting that they made the villain basically be the Disney Corporation. I thought that was a pretty bold move, and that's very on the nose. Yeah, I mean, it's very on the nose too. It is not like me editorializing.
Can I ask you something? I felt like there was weird nods to other properties all over this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously Dreamland is clearly, there's like World of Tomorrow, which is Tomorrowland. There's Dreamland is the place. It's clearly supposed to be Walt Disney's like Disney World. But there's also like weird jokes where like the power goes out and they're like, "Ooh, what about the fences?" And it felt like, is this supposed to be like Jurassic Park? And then like the scene of Dumbo there's a thing where he walks up a plank to leave at some point, and it feels very reminiscent of E.T. And it feels like there's these like weird, subtle, and I don't know if it's on purpose or if I'm just like trying to read things into it, but it felt weird and kind of obnoxious where I was like, what is the point of you just referencing this right now?
Yeah, I didn't see it as like direct references. To me, I felt kind of a little bit of the magic of the E.T. moments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't tell how much of this is just, this is a kid's movie. It's definitely meant for kids. I told you a little girl next to me had glow-in-the-dark shoes that she would like tap and light up the room every few minutes. It has kid logic. So like, how much do I want to fault that the third act kind of falls apart, or it like is way too tidy, or it just like shortcuts everything to get to where you know it has to go? I don't know. I've seen better kids movies, but I thought like the bringing of Dumbo to life was cute enough. Like this is the first one of those live action Disney movies that I feel like I get why you redid this in live action, because you're making it feel different. It looks different. It is a new experience, and for a lot of kids, they were probably never going to watch the original Dumbo. Yeah. But it also just felt very lackluster, where it was just cute. Like, that's all it was. It wasn't anything else.
Yeah, no, like, when I walked out of the theater, my literal, like, response to the film was, I mean, it was cute. Like, that, like, literally, that was all I could say about the film. I think it's just entertaining enough to make your time spent watching it not completely wasted. You're like, all right, cool, I'm here. There is some stuff in this film, though, that is, like, god-awful.
Can we get into spoilers and just tear Dumbo to shreds? That's what I want the spoiler warning to be.
Well, no, okay. So, well, first of all, let's back up for a second.
Let's unpack their plan.
No, but in all seriousness, let me talk about good stuff. When it first started, and it's just that train passing through the ages of this, like, traveling troupe of people, like, I was like, you know what? I might like this movie.
It kind of felt like a Marvel intro to me.
It had like just the color grading on it, and like the whatever it was about, and sort of like the characters and just like the old timiness of it. I was kind of like, you know what? I'm totally on board for this Dumbo movie I'm about to watch. It was kind of cool. And then like the children opened their mouth, and I like Thandie Newton's kid is charismatic, but we get it. She's a smart girl. Like, I'm fine with strong female characters, but a girl constantly saying she's doing the scientific method or let's do an experiment.
Yeah,
so
they
that we
hammered
know how
the
to,
STEM stuff
like,
so hard in this movie.
It was fucking obnoxious. Like, it was if I was a little girl watching this movie, I was like, fuck science, because this chick's like real dumb.
Definitely, yet again, they went extremely loud and incredibly Mowgli.
I couldn't stand it. Like, every time she said what she's doing, and then like Michael Keaton comes in and he's like, "Well, how do we make the elephant fly?" It was like, I don't know if the girl did it. How did you do it? With science. Get the science girl in here. Like, it really bugged me. Like, I could not stand it anytime. And like, she's a cute kid. She could deliver lines that are good. Why didn't somebody write her lines that are good? Like, I'm fine with her being the only reason why Dumbo can fly. That's awesome. I'm totally fine with, like, the dad being like, no, I have one arm. I hate stuff because of the war. Mom's dead. Like, I don't want to pay attention to you right now, child. And then her secretly making Dumbo fly. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. But don't make her talk about science. Nothing she did was scientific.
So my one defense of it is Disney knows this is for kids, and they're trying to plant this thing for kids, right? That's what they're trying to do. girls can be scientists. They could have written the lines in a way that was remotely like a part of her character. That would have helped a lot if she had like a little lab kit or something.
They could have given her a white coat.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have helped too. But the like the not yet apparent in me, but like the dad that maybe one day I would be, was like, all right, movie, I see what you're trying to do. Good on you, Disney.
But it wasn't good on you.
The execution was not good.
No, it was the worst. It was absolutely the worst. Like, it would have been better if she was constantly showing up the adults. If like Colin Farrell would say something that he thought was true about something and she corrects him. Like, you can make her like Hermione, right?
Yeah.
Like, just make her like a little kid who's super smart, right? That's all you need to do. Other people will pick up on it. Kids are smart enough to know, oh, smart girl's actually kind of cool and makes Dumbo fly. I want to be a smart girl who makes Dumbo fly. You don't have to beat it over their head like, science.
She also doesn't really use science
That's
to
what I
make Dumbo
said.
fly. She just calls it science.
At its most basic level, what is the scientific method?
Sneezing.
But right, it's like our basic understanding of the scientific method is like,
Make hypothesis.
yeah, and then test it, right?
Yeah.
And then change your hypothesis, right? Does she ever go like, maybe we should try a feather because birds have feathers, and also not a feather? I don't even know what the science test would be. I didn't understand.
Her understanding of science is he flew once, don't tell dad, maybe he'll fly again. Science.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it was cute. I thought the mama elephant looking at the birds flying around and that being the little seed of like
That gave birth to a flying elephant.
well, yeah, there's definitely
I
latently,
really wish
like,
I could fly away from this cage.
I mean so Miss Jumbo definitely fucked a bird. That's neither here nor there.
That's weird. I swear they thought they were going to review Dumbo this week.
I'm sorry, everyone. Our orders were flipped and we reviewed Hotel Mumbai first, and this is all just a big relief for us.
Yeah, this is us releasing all the tension of having to review Hotel Mumbai.
Yeah.
But so it's a cute film. It's very formulaic, but there is a cute elephant. There are cute kids, even though they're given bad lines. But I in general, I thought this was a fun film. Like, the characters were good. I enjoyed most of the cast. Like, I don't quite get the the mermaid when it's clearly the water's just in the wall of the
Yeah,
tank.
her marketable skills are definitely not as high as other people.
Like, plus the Danny DeVito's character constantly talks about the freaks in the show. Like, the same actress could have played the bearded lady or something, right? Like, there's no reason why it had to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm ranting about anymore. Okay, first of all,
I get the
no.
Greatest Showman kind of burned the bearded lady thing for a while.
Here's the thing that made me the most mad about this movie. Dumbo gets a Han Solo naming scene where it says like Jumbo's baby whatever.
Yeah. It's Dear Baby Jumbo.
Yeah, Dear Baby Jumbo.
Becomes Ear Baby Dumbo.
What the fuck? Why did we need who has an accidental naming where people are making fun of you and you're like, you know what, we're gonna own it. Dumbo.
We're taking it back.
Oh God. I mean, this movie's great.
I liked that Solo naming thing because, like, okay, so the audience has to be like cartoonishly bad in this movie. To this movie's credit, and I don't remember the original Dumbo well, I remember the original Dumbo being kind of criticized as a downer in the sense that it's like such a depressing Disney movie.
Yeah.
This at least is...
Is it like all early Disney movies where they shoot Dumbo's mom?
Probably. But in this one, at least, like, it is trying to drive home very clearly to kids, like, the people who are jeering at the circus are wrong. The fact that the animal is in captivity is wrong. Like, and part of it is the audience just being mean to Dumbo in a very unrealistic way.
Yeah.
Like, those ears are adorable as hell, right? Like, who is unhappy about those ears?
Yeah.
Though him in the
Also-
little baby bonnet is pretty cute.
Also, let's be honest here. Who's to say that baby elephants aren't born with their full-size ears and then they grow into them later, right? Like, we don't know.
Nope.
Like, nobody in that audience knows what a baby elephant looks like.
Yeah.
Like, why is that such a hideous
I don't know science.
beast?
I'm not Tawny Newton's kid.
I just don't understand how, like, it's like they could have made a hit, like it could have been like an ugly duckling story, right? Where it's a really ugly creature and then it flies and there's, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, I just don't understand what the, oh my God, it's hideous comes from this cute elephant with big dumb ears.
And, like, everyone is so immediately, again, it's kid movie logic, but the moment, like, Danny DeVito walks out, it's like, I want to see the baby elephant. Oh, he's hideous. Like, because he has big ears. Get those ears away from me.
Don't call the press. Did you already call the press? Don't you know the first rule is don't listen to anything I say?
I need to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia again.
So, the other thing I wanted to say is, in our world of modern technology where we can make anything happen, right? There is, like, you know, we have conversations with CGI and the Uncanny Valley and things that look real and things that don't look real. Part of the reason why things that we see every day in real life look weird when they're completely CG is because we have perfect full reference for those things, right? We don't have any reference for a flying elephant.
I
right?
ain't never seen an elephant fly.
We have reference for elephants.
Houseflies?
We may have reference for little baby elephants on like Nature Channel or whatever, but we don't know what it would look like if an elephant flies. So when you see Dumbo flying by himself, you know, that doesn't look too bad. When Eva Green is on its back, on Dumbo's back, that looks real bad because we know what a woman straddling an animal looks like.
I don't share that. I agree Dumbo looks better flying alone. He definitely rides solo.
Yeah. Han Solo.
Yeah.
I just thought that looked terrible anytime somebody was riding on Dumbo's back. And when Dumbo's flying by herself, I don't know what Dumbo's supposed to be.
I guess we've never asked.
Nobody lifted up the ears to see.
Gender's a construct, Chris. I do have to say I liked the Ava Green character, though. I thought she was very good, like Tim Burton-y, enchanting, mysterious woman who you think will maybe be evil, like on the side of pure evil, and then she's not. I don't know, I enjoyed her. I liked like pretty much everything about Dreamland too. I think like the way after seeing their kind of low rent carnival circus that they have going on, entering Dreamland there, I can kind of see how, even though I think it is like an indictment of Walt Disney, it like the magic is still there when you see it. Like I kind of felt like I want to go to Disney World. that was one of my feelings watching the movie.
Well, so here's the thing. I hate to just rag on this movie, but so also it's gonna get a must see. So no, I'm just kidding. But so the first time Dumbo is going to be revealed in Dreamland, right?
Right.
Full tickets sold out. The plan is for Dumbo to do 5 loops around the stadium and then land.
Yep. Instead, he does 8 and leaves, and everyone is sad because they didn't get their money.
Everybody wants their money back. Like, what?
Yeah.
You got what you came for. You saw, like, literally the tagline is, "You will believe an elephant can fly." You done saw an elephant fly.
Yeah.
You got what you paid for. I just don't understand why.
I mean, Alan Arkin just isn't having it.
I'm not going to give you the money from the bank.
I'm going for custard. Going for hot dogs. He goes and eats something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the logic is, of course, very screwy in this movie.
Yeah.
The only thing, and like, especially by the end, I'm assuming there's no such thing as spoilers for Dumbo. By the end, when Michael Keaton has gone full greed evil, and he's like banging on the light switch for no reason to like make his park light up in flames. It's like, I gotta just be in kid logic now, right? Because nothing else makes sense for this movie. But I don't know. A lot of little kids' movies kind of fall apart there and don't really make sense because they need to cut to the chase, and like you can't have the lows can't be too low and they can't last too long because you have to have the sweeping like, yay, Dumbo made it.
Yeah.
So whatever. They definitely missed an opportunity to do have Armie Hammer play Colin Farrell's character. The name power would have been really good there, because he's got an arm.
Oh, nice. I had no idea where you were going with that.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Dumbo. It's mostly cute.
Yeah. Does the film gain anything from Colin Farrell not having one of his arms?
No, I don't think so. And I also think the film forgets partway through that he's missing an arm. I feel like there are definitely shots where he's walking as if he has a real arm and not that like super fake thing that they just like forgot to CG out his arm. I don't know. I don't know what it's for because his relationship with his kids.
I assume they give him the fake one so that all he has to do is wear a giant glove instead of wrapping his arm behind his back or whatever he's doing for the rest of the shots.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But
also, at the end of the film, it's like everybody has their role, right? You're an expert in Dumboing, so you Dumbo. You're an expert in one arm climbing a scaffolding.
You only have one arm. Why don't you do the dexterous climbing motion?
Why don't you climb up the side of this thing and then with your only existing arm, cut a hole in the side of the tent? Who writes this shit?
It's brilliant. I can do anything.
Oh, man. It should have been a one-armed girl who does science.
Fun fact, Colin Farrell would go on to kill Harrison Ford's wife in The Fugitive. Because he's the one-armed man. Who knows how to use a knife? So I feel like the movie, because the movie is kind of bookended by Colin Farrell and his relationship with his children, right? That's kind of that is the way we're introduced to the circus, is he is coming home for the first time. Given that, I feel like the movie doesn't do a lot about him bonding with his kids. It doesn't show us.
Well, it's because he's too busy trying to bond with someone else.
Yeah. It doesn't show us any of that, really. Like, he's basically neglecting his kids, then he saves Dumbo, and then the movie's over. But it's okay. Dumbo speaks English, apparently.
He understands. Dumbo doesn't speak anything, but he understands English.
Yeah. He's not a defo. I want you to leave that whole laughing break in. That was a good one. I stand by it. Anyway, as I was saying, Dumbo can definitely understand English because there are long, complicated stories of like, does he know he needs a feather to fly ever? Because it seems like by accident that he gets the feather.
So,
But the big motivational thing in the end is much like the girl learns she can throw away her mother's heirloom. Dumbo learns he can fly without sneezing into a feather.
Well, no, so the thing is that I think Dumbo first gets the feather and then flies, and then he doesn't feel confident without the feather. The feather. I don't know when he thinks that he has to suck it into his nose to be able to fly. That doesn't seem very sustainable.
No.
Also, let's pretend like I'm fine with the suck a feather into your nose and you can fly a bit.
Yeah, just take a bump and fly away.
But if you then are also going to suck in and then blow out 5 gallons of water onto a fire, why would you ever expect that you'd be able to also hold, somehow in your nasal cavity, you hold the feather separately from the water canal I just
Don't you know science, Dumbo?
apparently I do not know science.
Does the girl ever in the rest of the movie talk about the key around her neck being from her mother? Or does that all happen at the very end when she's throwing it away?
I think she tells her brother something about like she doesn't know what it unlocks yet or something like that.
Like, to me, that's an example of just the line delivery or the writing for that kid being very like subpar, because normally you would think there'd be like one really emotional moment in the beginning where she's holding the key and she's like ever since mom left, she told me I could unlock this to do whatever I want.
She didn't leave. She died of the flu.
Sure, ever since mom died of influenza.
Oh, even the mother was fine.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody flew in this movie. Anyway, you would think there would be a big telegraph, like, this is the thing that I'm holding on to. But instead, I feel like they cut it for space, and all we have left is like a, Dumbo, I used to think that this necklace was the only way I could do science, but now I know I can do science without it, so if I throw it out, you can fly, right?
I mean, it wasn't science. It was her saying, remember, this is my safety blanket. Your safety blanket is a feather. I'll give up my thing to prove to you, even though I don't have to fly because I'm a little girl, that you can
She
fly.
rips off her dad's arm and throws him to fly.
I mean, really, it's just a metaphor for her accepting Eva Green as her mother.
That's true.
She's dead to me. Into the fire. You two go be happy. This is the worst episode.
No, it's the best episode.
I
Sure.
have no idea how I'm going to edit this down. But yeah, so I think it's safe to say that while we didn't disenjoy the watching of this film, it is not a film that has a lot of merit to it. There are certain films that I watch and I'm just like, shit, if I was a kid, this would be like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
None of them are coming to mind right now.
Every How to Train Your Dragon movie.
Yeah. Like things like that where I'm like, oh, I could see this, Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon.
Maybe the Lego movies.
Yeah, the Lego movies. Like, there are tons of things where I'm like, oh my God, like the Storks film. Like, there is so much stuff to love and enjoy. There is cute stuff in this film that is cute, and it doesn't really go beyond that. And I think that it's hard to know if there is enough cute little elephant or weird monkey or the weird monkey's little monkey that he keeps in his drawer.
Mm-hmm. You think it's the same monkey that plays Apu in the Aladdin movie?
Was it not a fully CG monkey?
I don't know.
Is there ever a scene where that monkey's real?
I have no idea.
I feel like it's fake. Which I really want to see the shots where Danny DeVito is just pretending there's a monkey and he has no idea what the animators are going to put in around him. And he's just acting crazy. But yes. Shall we get to verdicts?
We shall.
All right, Stephen Miller, if you're going to give the same must-see, a recommend with a caveat, wait for rental, pass with a caveat, or a must-avoid, what would you give it?
I feel pretty good giving this a rental. I think it's a cute kids movie. It does what it needs to do. I'm sure little kids are going to be enchanted by Dumbo. The kids in my theater were definitely vocally enjoying the movie the whole time. It was like an afternoon showing, so it was like extra cute to hear. But it wasn't. It doesn't give a whole lot to adults, and I feel like the script is pretty flimsy. It is playing with fun themes. Like, again, I think it is pretty ballsy to make like the Disney Corporation be the enemy of this Disney movie. But I don't know. It also feels lackluster in a bunch of other ways. Still, I had fun.
Technically, this Disney movie is kind of only making the enemy Walt Disney and saying that the rest of the people involved are not necessarily as bad as like Walt himself.
Sure, but there was definitely a trailer, not even a commercial before this movie for going to Disney World, and that felt like it didn't age well from the movie standpoint.
Yeah.
Of like commoditizing original things and turning them into profit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If I can make one more complaint before I give my review. Mm-hmm. I didn't care for the sound design of Dumbo himself. Mm. I thought that, like, once again, I'm not a zoologist. I just felt like the pitches were too high and too like it was too like instead of like a kind of thing, like it just something felt off whenever he was doing his little melodic tones and stuff where I was like, I don't buy that that's an elephant, even a baby elephant. with big ears.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make him too cute at the expense of realism. And what we really watch Dumbo for is realism.
Exactly. Because I would like to believe that an elephant can fly. But yeah, so for me, I'm going to give it a pass with the caveat. I think it's cute. Not much more than that. If I didn't see this film and then I came from the future and asked myself, should I have seen Dumbo? I would say no. So, yeah, I just don't think it was necessarily worth a watch that much.
And I thought in honor of the beach bum, I was seeing Gummo. So imagine my surprise when it was Dumbo instead.
All right.
Harmony Korine's very disturbing early movie.
Gotcha. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this review of Dumbo. Stephen Miller, if people want to find you throughout the week, where can they do that?
People can go to twitter.com/sdavidmiller or sdavidmiller.com.
People can find me at ChristopherInRealLife.com or Twitter.com/ChristopherIRL. You can find the podcast over at thespoilerwarning.com, where you can get a bunch of the back episodes of the show. If you want to subscribe to the show, you can do so on Overcast, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or wherever podcasts are found. If you want to know when the episodes go live, you can follow us at Twitter.com/SpoilerWarning, Facebook.com/TheSpoilerWarning, or Instagram.com/TheSpoilerWarning. If you want to get hold of us directly, you can send an email to fans@spoilerwarning.com, or you can use the contact form on our site. Music for this episode will come from the soundtrack to Dumbo, so hopefully you are enjoying that. That is it for tonight. Hopefully you made it through this episode, and this is not the last episode you listen to. Yeah. Stay tuned in the feeds for a review of Hotel Mumbai. And then stay tuned after that for whatever we're going to review next week as we lead into our tour through the SF Film Festival. Yeah, we'll be back soon, so talk to you later.
Do you want to know where these episodes connect? Dumbo boards a boat to Calcutta at the end of this movie. So he's heading to India. Yeah.